Welcome to Kickin with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry, Ricken, and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you retire with purpose and live with joy. Find more information, including how to reach the team, in today's show notes. Now, Kickin with the Rickens, powered by Ricken Financial.
As always, thanks so much for streaming. Thanks for downloading Kickin with the Rickens, redefining retirement. We're here with retirement planner Heidi Ricken Provost alongside licensed insurance professional Gerry Ricken. My name is Mark Owens. Get all the information about Ricken Financial. You can find it here in the show notes. Gerry, Heidi, welcome to 2026. How y'all doing this week?
Woohoo!
We are excited to start the new year, Mark.
We're going to get into a good conversation this week about making 2026 your best year ever. And you said something before we got started, which is so true. Ricken Financial, Gerry Ricken, Heidi Ricken Provost, you do not make resolutions. You
Absolutely
set goals.
not.
Nope, we don't.
No, New Year's resolutions, pardon my language, are a bunch of bullshit. You know?
That's,
If
truer
you
words have not been
need-
spoken.
If you need the date on the calendar to change to January 1st, 2026, and God bless us all, how long is it going to take for us to remember the 6 instead of the 5?
Yeah.
You know, if you need the date on the calendar to change so that you change something like structurally in your life, then your New Year's resolution is going to fail dramatically. There, obviously, Gerry and I both have goals that we set continuously throughout the year and everything. But I just feel like, I don't know, just because the calendar changed doesn't mean that every single facet of my life is going to change or something wild's going to happen overnight to start the new year. I've never believed in New Year's resolutions, and I've always found them to be a little triggering and cause people to fail.
Yeah.
And I would like to succeed. So you have to build those SMART goals, the specific and measurable goals that you can achieve continuously throughout the year so that you achieve your goals instead of just having some huge resolution in front of you that you're going to fail at.
You know, even though we don't believe in resolutions, Mark, probably the best time to start is today on any goal you have. If you haven't thought about goals yet, especially for retirement, then today is probably the best time to start, whether that's January 1st or December 31st. Anytime during the year is the best time to start.
And I think our point too is not that like goals and resolutions shouldn't exist in general, but like they should exist and they should be big, but you need to have small steps to get to the big goal. You can't just jump in the deep end immediately because we don't want anyone to fail. We want you to succeed. So you got to build it up and start small and grow,
And I think that is a downfall of the resolutions in general is you seem to shoot very, very high and you don't have a way to really achieve that because it's just a resolution, not a series of events to achieve a goal.
Well, don't worry, because I learned long ago at Kansas State University when I was a freshman. I minored in leadership. We at Kansas State actually has an entire college of leadership. So when my first course, I loved it. It's taught by juniors and seniors as well as a couple professors, but we have like breakout sessions with the juniors and seniors. They taught us how to create those small, specific, and measurable goals so that like each step of the way, you have an infrastructure in place and you can build on it. Like we all know as human beings, you have to make something habitually a routine in order for it to work for you.
Yep.
So they taught us the infrastructure of how to do that. And, I may not remember everything I've learned in school.
Shocking.
Right? But I recall that. And I think my favorite part of all of that back in the day was when I became the junior. I was one of the instructors for the Intro to Leadership course. And I still recall how cool it was helping those freshmen develop their SMART goals so that by the end of the semester, they were achieving something new. And every time I like think about that, I'm like, okay, this is so cool. If you start small and you build upon it, look what all of us can accomplish.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago when I looked at the scale and there was no way in hell I would be a healthy weight. And I just was so overwhelmed by the number. It was hard to know where to begin. And yeah, I took drastic measures to begin. And I'm sitting here now more than 100 pounds down and working every single day towards that goal. But that didn't happen overnight. And I think a lot of people, when they see you, they think like in your mind, you think stuff like that can just happen overnight. No, it's been a long, slow and steady journey, and every part of my habits and routines have changed so that my infrastructure of who I am as a human can support a healthy lifestyle versus flip the switch.
Yeah, a magic bullet out there that you
Yeah.
just all of a sudden it happens and nothing happens. Everything happens because destined to happen and meant to happen, and steps are taken to make that all happen. And Heidi's lost several pounds of weight, and I've gained a lot of weight. So as I do every
as a good father, taking
season,
care of your daughter, you lift the weight off of her shoulders, Gerry. That's what you're doing. You're just being.
And so I too have lost probably thousands of pounds in my life, but I'm a yo-yo guy. I lose it, then I gain it, then I lose it, then I gain it, and then right now I've actually gained it, and I need to actually change a couple of things so that I don't yo-yo as much. I need to take out the highs and the lows, and maybe that's one of my overall objectives, as it is, ongoing in my life, is to maybe cut back on a little bit and do a little bit more exercise.
Let's peel back the curtain here, because sometimes when people hear the results of goals, they don't understand what it takes to get there. I'm not sitting here because I did this alone. I had an infrastructure of professionals that supported me along the way. First of all, I have my professional husband, Stephen. Thank you very much. He's actually my real husband in real life. And his family laughed at me when I said for Thanksgiving, this is what I'm grateful for and what I wanted to give thanks for, but it's true. He is incredibly patient, and he has been there supporting me every step of the way. I have my infrastructure of my family. My parents and my siblings have supported me through so many highs and lows along the course of all of this entire journey. I have the professional assistance of an incredible therapist who helped me get on top of my mindset and retrain my brain how to handle this every step of the way. I have my personal trainer, Devin, who has dramatically changed my life. I mean, at 36 years old, I had lived on flat feet for 36 years now, and I am developing arches in my feet because of him. Like wild things are occurring. And I have a support system in the background that is there to challenge me to move further, but also support me structurally in ensuring that I'm still meeting my goals and taking care of myself. And, two of those people that I couldn't have gotten this far without are Thomas Zebley, the president of our back office, and Jared Lameo, who supports us every single day in our business. They also support me in real life. And if I wouldn't have had all of that support and the professional assistance, I could have done it, but I probably would not be where I am today. Yeah. And, I'm saying all of this because you might be sitting here and have all these goals in the new year, but if you DIY all this stuff, it's a lot. And sometimes it's way too much to handle. So, you might need just a little bit of professional assistance to get there. And I'm not saying every single person needs to go out and get therapy tomorrow. That's not my point. My point is maybe the goal in the new year needs to be working on your tribe. If you have some financial journey you need to go on in the new year, your tribe could include us if you need some support in that. If you want to take care of some taxes and income planning and retirement and emergency funds, all the different things, sometimes it's nice to have a professional look at it and assist you. If you have health goals that you want to accomplish in the new year, we're here to support you in those too, because both of us know how hard they can be to achieve. And,
absolutely.
And sometimes all it takes is a little text saying, hang in there, how you doing today? Or I share my Apple Watch data with a couple of my friends. And when one of us crushes a workout, it gives you the notification. And, I'll text Morgan and be like, damn, girl, that was awesome, and vice versa. And sometimes you just need a little love and support to get there. But, in 2026, we have goals personally and professionally that we're excited to achieve. And we have the infrastructure ourselves of the professionals who are assisting us in getting there. None of what we do just occurs. It's thoughtfully and carefully planned out, and we have the right support to get there.
And, one of the things we did in 2025 is moved into a new space, a new office space. And we did that so we could achieve future goals and objectives. And that is, growth because we are a growing company.
Mhm.
We're always seeking to help more people out there. And when you seek to help more people, you need a better infrastructure.
Mhm.
So we were landlocked in a very small office space. In fact, when we did our podcast and our radio programs, we'd have to kick someone out of an office and say, hey, we're using that as our podcast and radio room. So now we have a studio that we sit in, that we're sitting in right now. But it's very important to just plan things out so that you can execute on those plans and never try. And if things go awry, you just adjust the plan.
Mhm.
And plans are meant to be changed. They're not a stagnant. They're not a set it and forget it. If you do that,
They are definitely not set in stone.
no, they aren't set in stone because life happens. I mean, life happens, and as life happens, your plans change, and you adjust, and you pivot. And we're very good at pivoting, and we're very good at helping our clients pivot every step along the way because health issues may be a concern for some people. They may want to retire or have to retire early. We had that occur in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we just had to pivot and adjust those goals and objectives and adjust the plans and make it work for people because that's what we want. We want retire with joy. You hear it a lot in our tagline, plan with purpose and retire with joy. We want you to be joyful in retirement because we want that success to occur each and every day of your life.
And we're so excited to share that, we're in this new space and we are growing. And we have an incredible teammate that has joined us this year. His name is Clayton Mack. And if you have not had the privilege of meeting him yet, and you want to meet him, call at any point in time. I'm sure he'd be thrilled to introduce himself and chat with you a little bit or, pop on in. Because just like the Ricken household growing up, if the lights are on and we're home, come on in anytime. Same goes with Ricken Financial, but he's been an incredible asset to our team. And we are just so darn excited to start 2026 with such a solid group here and Clayton's support, because that is exactly what he was hired to provide, is the support for our clients moving into the new year so that we are more accessible and able to help in real time with all of our clients.
He's a very motivated young man. He played tennis in college for 4 years. Actually, he did a fifth year because he got a double major because he got the COVID round. So he got an extra year of eligibility. So he played tennis for 5 years. And when you play tennis at that level for a 5-year period, you have to be very motivated. You have to be extremely focused on what you're doing and extremely organized. And we love having that as a member of our team, somebody so solid in their goals, objectives, and ticking off tasks. So it's awesome.
Time management has never been a strong suit of Heidi's. So having someone on our team that time management is his number one, this has been awesome and it's helped all of us. And it's just made me so excited because in 2026, you will be seeing other new faces around here. But, I'm just so darn excited to have someone who is so capable. His first week on the job, we both were kind of like, oh my God, he's accomplished more this week than we thought he'd accomplish in a couple months.
Right.
And so, we're just so excited to bring some new faces around and be able to better serve our clients moving into this year.
My dad always said, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. And that's Clayton in a nutshell. He's a busy person, but you give him something and he prioritizes his task and gets it done. And it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. We talked a little bit professionally what's going to happen this year for Ricken Financial. What about you personally? Let's peel back the curtain even further. So, Heidi, you talked a little bit about your journey towards fitness and just bettering yourself. But, tell us something else that you have a goal for this year. And same thing for you, Gerry. Give us something that you're really excited to strive on, either personally or professionally.
So I actually hired a coach recently, and he's a business coach first and foremost, and he's helping me with the infrastructure of our business and a couple other things. But he's also a personal coach, and I had to set my 2026 goals with him. So to reiterate what Sean and I have set as my vision in 2026, I have a huge fitness goal that I want to achieve in 26, and then a huge personal one as well. So
excellent.
The last time my husband and I went on a vacation, just the two of us, that was a vacation and not going somewhere for a wedding or a funeral or an event of some sort, was our honeymoon. And so this year, the two of us are going to take a little bit of time and go on vacation, just the two of us. That's one of my personal goals because life gets in the way sometimes. And to be transparent, I don't have the best work-life balance. I prioritize work a lot, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I want to ensure that I'm taking care of my clients, but to refresh in 2026, going to take a vacation with Steven. And for my fitness goal in 2026, I am going to Canada in July, towards the end of July, and will be participating in a fitness challenge called 29029 Everesting. And my goal is to complete my my own personal Everest by ascending Mont Tremblant enough times that I hike up 29,029 feet of elevation as though I have hiked Everest. And I have 36 hours to do it. And my goal is to complete that and get the red hat in 26.
I love it.
So, Mark, you asked what some of my goals are. One of my biggest objectives is to make sure that Ricken Financial survives Heidi being out on a vacation.
Sadly, though, he's not joking. That's part about this.
People ask me every day, not every day, but occasionally, hey, when are you going to retire? You're that age. And I'm like, sure, I'm that age. I earned every one of these gray hairs I have. But I'm just going to cut back a little bit more and turn the reins over more and more and more to Heidi throughout the year. That doesn't mean I'm walking away in the least bit, but I'm going to take a little bit more time, just like Heidi said. Work-life balance, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So taking a little bit more of that, and also doing a little bit more exercise, doing a little bit more walking, doing those things that I tend to, oh my gosh, I've got to work on this retirement plan tonight instead of doing a walk.
Yeah.
So I just need to do a little bit more of that.
I love that. We invite you to meet the team, rickenfinancial.com, or call at any time, 314-207-6211. Again, 314-207-6211. You can find all that information here in the show notes. Let's do it. Let's make 2026 the best year ever, both personally, both financially, and we can do that with the help of Ricken Financial. Again, get all the information here in the show notes. We'll be back next week. Again, get more at rickenfinancial.com. But before we get out of here, Heidi, Ricken, Provost, Gerry, Ricken, take us home.
Every day in 2026 is a holiday.
Life is short. Laugh hard.
This has been Kickin with the Rickens, redefining retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.
Tax preparation and tax advisory services are offered through Ricken Financial. These services are not offered by IPW and are not subject to investment advisor requirements. These services referenced are an outside business activity not offered through or supervised by IPW.